In this example, I want to demonstrate some of the types of errors you'll run into when programming. The first type is a syntax error, the second is a logical, and the third is a runtime error. Now, syntax errors occur when you make an error in the grammar or the syntax of the language. So this program actually runs correctly. So I'm going to put in the hours worked, which is 10, and the pay rate, which is 5. And it says I earned $50. Now, if I made an error in the grammar, like let's say I left off this semicolon, you would notice that the compiler figures out a little message here. You'll see this is underlined in red, and if I roll my mouse over, it says error expected a semicolon. Now, sometimes it doesn't see the error till it moves down to the next line, so I might have to look on the line previous, and I'll put that in there. Here's another example. I'll leave off the double quote, and again, if I roll my mouse over, error missing closing quote. Now again, these are syntax errors. They have to do with having an error in the syntax of the language. It happens at compile time. The compiler is figuring out what the problem is and giving you a message. Here's another one. I will take off rate. And you'll notice down here, rate gets underlined again with the red squiggly line. It says rate is undefined. Those are all examples of syntax errors. They happen at compile time. The compiler determines them. Now, a logical error is when your program runs but produces incorrect results. So let me give you an example. Here I'm multiplying hours times pay rate. What if I just added them? And then I ran my program, and it says, how many hours did you work? 5. How much did you get paid? 10. And it says I earned $15. Well, if that was the case and you only got $15, you wouldn't be very happy. So my program did run, right? And it gave me incorrect results. This is a logical error. This is really probably very difficult for a beginning programmer to detect, because lots of times you guys, something runs to the screen and you're very happy and you think you're done. So that's a logical error. The last type is a runtime error. A common runtime error used to be a divide by zero error. If you know enough about math to know that you can't divide something by zero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter 0 in for the rate. So I'll actually divide some number by 0. And I'm going to run this. And I worked 5 hours and I made $0 an hour. And this is what it says. You've earned 1 point number sign INF. That's a runtime error. It's a common runtime error, but it's even starting to look a little bit more like a logical error, because we think a lot about runtime errors being when your program just stops running and a window pops up in front of you and says your program stopped running. You know, would you like to contact Microsoft? That's probably a more kind of, you know, in-your-face runtime error that many of us are used to seeing. So again, those are the 3 main types of errors: syntax, logical, and runtime. You have to fix all your errors before your program will run correctly. If you fix the syntax errors, it will run, okay, because it is going to compile. It doesn't mean it's going to run correctly. So you have to make sure that it's logically correct, okay, and that you don't have any runtime errors.